It's time to make duck confit, which is basically duck legs that are quick cured and poached in duck fat. So I got my 2 duck legs with the skin removed, and I'm going to make the cure for it. So I have here is 10 black peppercorns toasted. Then I've got about 20 to 25 coriander seeds toasted, right? 10 crushed juniper berries. This is about a tablespoon of thyme. And I'm going to, I'm going to just kind of chunk this up right now. All right, that's it. Got it all ground up. And I'm then going to put it right here for now. I'm just going to put this in this little pan here. Got it all in. And then I'm going to add to that, once I got it all in there, I'm going to add into that 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. Mix that all up. So we just basically, the salt is what's going to cure the duck, and everything else just adds some flavor to the final confit taste. We got this all mixed up. And you say plenty of it to put over the 2 duck legs, right? You put that in, flip them over, put in the rest, and I'm just going to make sure I've got this really, really well coated with this flavored salt mixture. And the thing is, I make enough, right? If it doesn't all get stuck to the duck, that's fine. This method really is that I make a bunch of this cure, I get as much as I can stuck to the duck legs, right? And then anything that's extra, I just dump out, all right? I got them stuck on here, like so, with you over here now. Excess, I get rid of, put them back in, and then I weight them down. So that's what I'm using this thing for again. I'm going to just weight these down. I'll put like a small can of beans or something like that in here. I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator, and they're going to go overnight, 18 to 24 hours. That's sufficient to get a good duck confit. But if you really want a lot more flavor, you really want a deep, deep cure, you can leave it as long as 3 days. But you have to expect a very intense flavor. So you won't be able to just eat it. You'll need to mix it with other ingredients to kind of mellow it down. So I'm going to put a little weight in here. I'm going to stick it in the fridge. Tomorrow we'll come back and we'll finish up the confit. All right, so the curing process is done. I've rinsed off the remaining cure, and I'm heating duck fat here on the stove to 200 degrees. And then what I'm going to do there, I'm going to add the duck legs. So here they are. They're looking a little bit flat because they were weighted down. I want to add the duck legs, and what's most important is that they're completely covered with the duck fat, which they are. And then I put this cover on it, and I'm going to take it off the stove. It's easier once it's in to do it in the oven to maintain the temperature. So it's going to go into a 225 degree oven for 3 to 4 hours. And I'll check it a little to basically, if I need to adjust the oven temperature to maintain the 200 degree fat temperature. I don't want it to go too high. I don't want it to fry the duck, but I don't want it to go too low because then it won't cook it. It won't make that beautiful confit. So into the oven it goes. In 3 to 4 hours, hopefully we'll have really nice duck confit. The confit is done now. Give you a look at it. This is what it looks like after it's been cooking in that fat at a low temperature for a long time. The thing with confit is that this is intended to be an ingredient in something else. It's really not something, from my perspective, I don't use it for something that is actually a dish. So I'm going to give it a taste though, and you see, it's really easy. I just pull it, probably a little piece like this right off. It just comes right off like that. So, all right. So it's kind of rich as you would expect, cooking in fat. It's kind of silky. It's got a nice savoriness to it. Very, very tender, very juicy. And of course, that's got that kind of herbal, peppery cure. So I'm not going to use it right away. What you do is you should store this in the fridge, covered in its own fat. So, for example, I'm going to stick them in this glass dish here. Now, what's important is that it's completely covered with fat. So I'm going to put some of this duck fat in there, completely covered. That will make it so that it won't spoil. It won't get any kind of bacteria, anything like that. You could easily then keep it for a month, and then actually as long as 6 months, really. But it's better if you use it sooner. So that's it. That's the duck confit. We will, in future episode, talk about how to use it. See you next time.